everyone, welcome to Zeitgeist Zealots. I'm Forrest.
I'm Major.
I'm Robbie.
And I forgot the order, I think. Matt.
I'm Tip.
I think Tip usually goes last.
The Last of Us.
Yeah, oh, nice.
Throwing that in there.
All right, and that's the peak of the podcast. We probably
leave it on a high note.
All right, guys. Tune in next week as we cover episode 2 of The Last of Us.
So I think it's been a long while before we've all seen a show that we're all really, I think, excited to talk about. I think everyone really enjoyed it.
It's been a long time since they've made a good show.
I think everyone really enjoyed this. Am I right? Even that?
Yeah, it's got 96% on Rotten Tomatoes and like 99 from critics.
Who's the 4% that just cannot be satisfied in life?
Well, is that all audience or is that verified audience?
The rage nerds who are like, oh, why aren't they wearing face masks in this version? And it's not air spores, just like the video game.
Yeah, I think, the reason they did that was just because they didn't want to cover up the actors' faces, and B, because I guess the pandemic, they're just sick of people in gas masks. But I mentioned verified.
Of course,
rate.
though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it would kind of be all right. So it would definitely ruin the show, right? Because it would bring politics into it. But it would also be kind of fun to see like an anti-masker group, like cult, like in The Last of Us, just like a group of people who, like, 20 years into this apocalyptic pandemic, or just like still refuse to wear gas masks.
Oh yeah,
that'd be like kind of funny.
It would
also really take me out of the show. I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they're not doing the gas masks.
Yeah. Well, I guess we just go around and everyone gets their thoughts.
No. Let's. I got some stuff I want to talk about first beforehand. So we're gonna go over some news here in the podcast, and then we're gonna talk about The Last of Us, and then we'll finish up with some Bad Batch, right? With talk about some Bad Batch with some bad bitches. But first, guys,
baby.
I wanted to let you guys know Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon has a release date, December 22nd, 2023. Just an entire fucking year away.
What's it about?
Did it for your birthday. That is, it was originally pitched as his like version of Star Wars. It was like his, like, you know, when he was trying to get into the Star Wars universe, like this was originally his pitch. You know, Star Wars, you know, after the controversy with like Rise of Skywalker and just, you know, an onset of bad movies, and then Justice League not doing too well and stuff, like Star Wars was like, no thanks, if I'm remembering this correctly, right? So fuck it. What do you do? What do you do when Disney rejects your screenplay? What do you do when anyone rejects your screenplay? You go sell it to Netflix.
Yeah, well, let me know when Yankee Moon comes out, and then maybe I'll watch that.
Yeah,
no, I'm kidding.
The Mason-Dixon one,
the Mason-Dixon Space Wars.
Yeah, Asteroid Belt. Guys, speaking of trailers, do you guys know Mandalorian season 3 trailer came out?
Yeah, a lot more Mandalorians in this one, and they're going because they're on Mandalore.
Shut the fuck up! You haven't seen it yet. I was leading you into this the first 2 seconds. All right, guys. So they haven't seen it. Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to fake over here. We planned this ahead of the recording. We're gonna watch the trailer together. You guys won't be able to hear the trailer, hopefully, so we don't get marked down for copyright issues, right? But you will be able to hear us react. Yeah. So if you guys are watching at home, we're gonna start it out. It's 1:42. So if you're just listening,
so if you just want to pull it up and hit play with us.
Yeah, we'll give you 2 seconds. I'm kidding. You can just pause the podcast and pull it up and then hit play. Everyone, let's hit play. You guys ready?
No.
Oh, hold on.
Wait. I'm doing. Oh, I was.
Okay.
Oh, God. A little bit. Hold on. Oh boy.
I heard the whistle.
Two more minutes.
Someone put that headphones on.
So maybe you will be able to hear.
Wait, did I not mute? Oh no.
No, that was me. All right, I'm starting it now.
Heard that whistle. Oh, you're starting it now? You're not gonna do it?
No, my computer was
countdown.
booting.
Just like, all right, I'm starting.
Yep, more Mandalorians.
Yeah.
Hey, you put the subtitles on. You turn that down before.
Yeah.
You let that get to 30 seconds.
This is my first time.
You don't.
All right. So what do you guys think?
Background music.
What do you guys think about that audio? Or not the audio. I can't stop thinking about you guys playing the audio. What do you guys think about the armor?
How he has pure Beskar and nobody else does.
That's Salacious Crumb.
It's a creature like Salacious Crumb, I bet.
Okay.
Oh, big pimpin'. Dude, I like that robe. I bet it's 1,000 degrees.
Dude.
Yeah,
Baby
but
Yoda
we're behind
riding
you guys.
shotgun in the lap. Oh. Oh, hey, is that droid from A New
I think
Hope?
that's a weird thing to say there, because I don't know.
By the time it becomes big enough for you guys,
Oh, this is the way.
Ooh, Jedi.
March 1st.
That's what Star Wars needs.
Star Wars does need more Jedis.
So are we going to see Order 66 redone for the 100th time?
You shut the fuck up. I love it when they redo Order 66.
Yeah,
I
they
want to
just
see Order
have, like,
66
another-
from every perspective.
Yeah, that's what I was about to
and
say.
they
From
got
just
Boba
different
Fett.
perspectives every time.
He's got the
This is
Force
the way.
back.
Oh, big pimpin'. That's a meme already. Fucking meme that shit. That fucking smug ass arrogant face at the end. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah, I just got to it.
Oh, what? That's a meme right there. Holy shit.
Oh,
That's
I could
so
totally
funny.
see that being a meme. Sometimes.
All right.
Roll up to the club with some bitches, be like,
Oh snap! There's a whole bunch of them.
Hold on, I want to go back.
just get into it.
I want to go back and just pause.
They're gonna have to
My
change.
computer was having problems, man.
Oh,
They're gonna change the title to Mandalorians.
Look, there's a tiny Grogu. He's back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
Grogu.
Yeah, I don't know. We saw the Doctor. Looks like the Doctor from the first season's back, and they're going to Coruscant. Looks like. So I'm wondering if there's gonna be like any Andor. Oh, I guess it won't be any Andor.
I'm thinking the Coruscant part is going to be when they have the flashback to Order 66.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Because it showed the Jedi's for half a second, so it looks like. But what did the Mandalorians have to do with Order 66? That was the clones, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but they're also bounty hunters, dude.
Yeah.
Aren't they?
Maybe you find out there's some Mandalorians who screwed over the
yeah.
Jedi too.
they had some clan. Well, the Jedi and the Mandalorians definitely hate each other. But like, you had some shenanigans going on with Maul, right? The red guy. From,
Darth Maul. Darth Maul had the Darksaber and was leader of Mandalore for a brief period of time
during the Clone Wars. So maybe, I forget where this is exactly in the timeline. But hey,
right after Return of the Jedi, I guess, or after season 2 of Mandalorian, obviously, and after Book of Boba Fett.
Every plot line that they don't dedicate towards validating cloning of Palpatine for episode 9 is a plot line worth doing.
Oh,
yeah.
Somehow Palpatine came back.
Somehow he
there's a
survived.
way to bring him back. Someone had his DNA stored somewhere.
Right?
All right.
Well, that's like
we're gonna.
That's a scary thought.
We're gonna talk so much about Mandalorian when it comes out in March, but today we're gonna focus on another great show, Last of Us.
Yes.
with Pedro
So
Pascal.
good.
This is the first of the Last of Us.
Forrest, I have some bad news for you.
Mm-hmm.
That trailer wasn't the last of the news. I wanted to pour one out real fast. If you guys don't mind, Channing Tatum is pretty much calling time of death on the Gambit movie.
No.
Yeah, I know. I knew Matt would be heartbroken by that.
I mean, I think
what?
The only thing I know about Gambit is like it's from that episode of the X-Men where like he goes to New Orleans and there's like sort of like the assassins and the thieves guild don't get along.
So Cajun, yeah.
It's basically just like a Romeo and Juliet thing, like the Montagues and the Capulets, but it's like with voodoo and it's in New Orleans and so I don't know. I mean, I guess like a Gambit movie could be interesting if you just if it was like a very low budget. Yeah. If it was like a low budget sort of thing, like Logan.
Channing Tatum doing a Cajun accent though.
Oh no!
Come on!
No,
Come on!
Yeah, that wouldn't be good.
I don't know.
Not.
I think we dodged
not
the
good. Did you guys hear about Comixology?
No.
Just getting wrecked by Amazon's just abhorrent management. Estimates are that about 50 to 75% of Comixology's staff got laid off.
What?
And the latest round of cuts by Amazon.
I'm sure like comic shops are like celebrating that right now. They're like opening champagne bottles because like I think brick and mortar stores that sell comics have been struggling for years, probably because of digital comics. And like I pretty much just
wow, Force optimistic.
I only read digital comics, at this point. Well, yeah, I have the subscription services like with Marvel Unlimited. Like I've been using that since like college, and it's just a lot easier. And like, because like I don't want these things like piling up in my house.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's bad.
I do manga.
It's bad not paying for it.
Yeah,
so I think just because I would just start reading it online, like all the
in 45
all the
years
books that I have, I just kind of have as memories.
Yeah, I definitely.
What's going to happen with our subscription lifestyle, right? Like we're moving towards autonomous vehicles, and there's going to be ride sharing to the point where, like, with an autonomous car, right? You could buy a car, and then, like, if you're not using it for the day, right? Then you can, like, go on Uber, and you could rent your car out to, or at least, rent/lease your car out to Uber, and then that autonomous car is going to drive and pick someone up and then take them other places, like. So we're moving to the subscription lifestyle, right? Like, not just
even with our
comic books, right? Exactly. So like, we're gonna
can't just get a $60 game that has everything anymore.
Yeah, we're gonna end up not owning a single fucking thing by the time this is all over.
That's great.
Except subscription fees. We're gonna own subscriptions. I mean, I don't know.
It's like a love-hate relationship with
it's all fine. It's all fine until they figure out how to stop password sharing, I guess, right?
Yeah.
We'll find a way.
Netflix has been kind of fighting that, haven't they?
They've been talking about it, but like
I don't think they've
a single headline. I haven't felt anything. Right? Yeah, no. Although their share price has quietly doubled from the bottom. Keep an eye on that. Yeah. You won't see. I haven't seen a single fucking headline about Netflix, but yeah, they've like doubled since they bottomed.
I've been keeping my eye on Tesla like all the time, seeing what
they're
doing.
Anyway,
we go.
Rob, if you want, you can come on to my stock podcast. The Roots Report. You can find it on Spotify and on YouTube.
You can tell how much they love Last of Us. It's kind of like the opposite. It's kind of like Bad Batch. We don't want to talk about it, so we actively think of things to avoid.
We are so bad at going.
Bro, we're just having a conversation.
It's kind of our.
It's
become kind of our thing in this podcast.
Hey, all right.
So
we're just nerds having a conversation. I'm sorry that someone took a line of coke and wants to get us back on track. Let's go to The Last of Us.
Yeah, this was.
That's right. Hey guys, and just to let you know, I have a list of Netflix movies coming out in 2023, but we're not gonna fucking do it. We're going to The Last of Us. Let's go.
I agree.
Season 1, episode 1.
Yeah, so this is like an hour and a half premiere. It's basically like a movie on HBO. Much. So
how many episodes is it going to be?
I have no idea.
Does anybody even know?
I don't know. Like usually like 8 or 10 is like the magic number. I'm guessing the entire season's going to cover the game. Do you think they're going to get like 9 to the end
episodes.
where 9 episodes? Okay, so Rob, do you think they're going to get to the because you've played the game?
Yeah, I could. The game wasn't super long.
Oh, okay.
And plus, they're going to skip a lot of the actual game, which is just like kind of solving puzzles in a way,
running around,
and looting stuff and.
Yeah, so I imagine they can like do the entire game in like one season, but I'm worried.
It totally felt like a game scene when that truck crashed and separated them.
That was like
so he was in that.
It did, dude. Heck yeah.
That was totally like the start of a level right there.
Yeah.
Robbie, I kind of noticed a similar pattern in a lot of the scenes. It did feel very like a game cinematic.
Yeah, like the first person view.
The game was almost like just watching a movie that you just play through at some points.
Yeah, like even the dialogue, like the terse like dialogue. I mean, it's very game like because you want to move forward in a game. Dialogue's like, all right, let's go. No, hell,
And since I played the game, I already knew about his daughter.
I knew about that too. But I really like that they kind of gave her a backstory. Because I think in the game she just dies, right?
You want them to kind of feel their connection before it happens.
Yeah, and I think like that all that stuff, like her going to get him a watch for his birthday, and
repair his old watch.
Repair his old watch, yes. And just like slowly dropping hints that something terrible is happening in the background. That was really well done.
Yeah, I loved how they do that. How she just noticed a little thing.
Yeah, there's definitely an over-sensing sense of dread throughout the beginning part of the episode, and which is good because the guy who wrote this also wrote Chernobyl, like is another show about something terrible that happened.
Yeah,
and so I think the writer was very good at not suspense. Right out of the gate. Yeah, very good suspense.
Yeah. Ryan Airy from Screen Crush made a really good observation that, like, when you're talking about seeing it in the background, it was a lot like COVID-19 before March 12th, right? Like, you heard about cases, you saw it in the background of the news, but it wasn't like the forefront of everyone's attention, right? Like, they dropped a lot of subtle hints. And even though, like, I think Robbie's the only one who owned PlayStation growing up, or owns still, so like he, is the only one who's played the game. I have, seen enough video clips online to know the daughter, like the girl running around.
Oh, you already knew
with
that
Joel
was gonna happen?
Yeah, was not the daughter. And so
the one who was following him around.
Yeah, and then plus, fucking like every other headline is like, the kid from Game of Thrones who was super badass is gonna be this girl in The Last of Us, and then like you get to the show opens up. And you're like, wait a second, that's not her. And then you're like, that's not good.
This isn't the one we're supposed to.
She's not white. I think the actress they got, even though she only had like a small part in this, she was really good.
I thought she was fantastic in it.
Matt, what did you think of the opening with, I guess, the talk show? We didn't really go over the talk show that much, but like the opening with Sarah and
just kind of getting back to the whole feeling like a video cut scene. I felt right before that plane crash when they're going through the town, it was one of those quick action moments where it's like press X, press circle,
so cool.
press triangle, and then the plane is following you. Speed up, one of those like quick actions that you feel like 10 times in a row. And then have to go right back, 3 minutes in the past. The plane is going to get you. The plane is going to get you.
Rapidly hit X to speed up.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff like that. So.
Yeah, those kind of things.
Yeah, and
but,
I guess
that plane crash was cool. That plane crash was fucking cool.
It was. So I will say too is I hate jump scares. Mm-hmm. So I was a little worried because I didn't know like how crazy this was going to be, and for the most part, no jump scares. But still give you this sense of like something's about ready to happen, which I really like.
The closest thing was when they found that dead one on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but for the most part,
I think that was like towards the end of the episode, right?
Yeah. Jump scares are just cheap. When you look in the mirror and there's something behind you, and then it's not really behind you.
They throw in like
hate that crap.
Some loud music suddenly.
Yeah, but like, all right, but like it's like a cheap blowjob. It's still a blowjob. Like if done well, like it might be cheap, but like if the jump scare gets you, it fucking gets you. Like even if it's like lame. So like I've got my notes here, not to skip ahead to the Bad Batch, right? But there's this part where Teo's talking shit, and he's walking forward, and then he just out of nowhere gets hit by a fucking speeder, right? Dude, I fucking like spat out beer. Like there was beer in my nose. Like I was like, it took me by surprise, and I laughed. Right?
That was more like a jump. That was more like a jump laugh than a jump scare. But
it was cheap. It was cheap though, right? Yeah. Like just Ben Schwartz is talking shit, and then he just why is this guy? It's a cheap joke, but it still laughs. So I'll give it credit.
Yeah. Well, I think
as a side note too, really quick, one other quick note I had about just the beginning. I'm really wondering if there was a brief homage to The Thing. When the shopkeeper who did the watches is speaking, I don't know what language, with his wife, if they're really like giving away the whole plot in another language. They did that in Iron Man as well. It's been done. Really? Yeah, they did an Iron Man.
That one.
The terrorists are actually saying like where they are and like what group they are in a different language.
Yeah, I know that.
So I would really like to find somebody.
Do they?
Well, it just said speaking Arabic, I believe. So I'm curious if I go and online and find something as to what they're saying, because in The Thing we all know the pilot is yelling, saying "Get away from him! He's an alien! Get away from the dog!" In Norwegian, but people don't.
He's like, "Get away from it! It's some kind of thing or something like that." Yeah. So I
IMDb trivia page, and they don't make any mention of it. It's possible, but no one's called.
Well, you gotta watch the Watch Mojo 10 things you missed in Last of Us, which are really 10 things no one missed. 10 things that were in Last of Us. They should rename the episode. But I really liked, I don't remember any jump scares, but I do remember early in the episode, like the lady starts to fidget in the background behind the girl, and
opens up her mouth wide.
Oh yeah.
When they get to the clickers, I'm sure they're gonna have a jump scare.
Guys, what do you think caused the virus or the outbreak, the fungus?
Climate change.
Not enough people washing their feet. I don't know.
Yeah, it was the opening scene.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to the channel. Rob, do you know? Did they talk about it in the game? Oh, heads up, Rob. If you do know there's gonna be spoilers, fucking say it before you answer. But
Rob, I think they said.
Do you know what happens?
Like at the end of the game, or like
no, at the beginning. Well, you've played all the way through.
No, wait, don't tell us.
It has been a while since I played it, so I don't remember all the.
Well, it's basically like fungi can't survive in beings that are over 94 degrees, but if the Earth gets warmer, then fungi will evolve.
Right, but some people get sick and other people don't. Right, so like, what's the reason for it?
Well, I think they said like if you're in the city, then probably like in hospitals, because I think the old lady was in the hospital in the city, and I guess that's why people were getting infected.
So like, why did her neighbors get sick, and why didn't Sarah get sick?
Because they were going to the city more often, where there were more people. That's what they said.
It seemed to infect the oldest first.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it had like
people with poor immune systems.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Something to do with their
immunocompromised. Ooh, yeah, it's a little close to home.
So, I want to give a shout out to the YouTube channel Heavy Spoilers. Dropped a very fascinating theory video today about who got infected and who didn't and why. And you'll see in the first episode, there's like a headline, like in a newspaper, or maybe it's in the background of like, how like all the there's news playing in the background and shit. They talk about this like mold or fungus or some kind of infection with like grain, with like the wheat supply. Ooh. Or whatever, and then if so he breaks it all down, so like TLDR, like the fungus, like the cause might be in like the carbohydrates, because like if you look like the neighbors, like they're cooking cookies and they eat the cookies, but Sarah doesn't eat the cookies because it's gross, because it's fucking raisin, right? Because that's a fucking gross ass cookie, right? Joel doesn't get sick because he's on an Atkins diet, which is a no carb or low carb diet. There's like a couple different things like that makes you think like maybe that's going on. I just want to shout out, like, pretty awesome channel. I enjoy him quite a bit. He's got a British accent, if you're into that kind of shit.
No, I hate
something
it
to keep an eye on. Something to keep an eye on for the next eight episodes.
I'm still bitter about the Revolutionary War. I'm still bitter about the War of 1812, so that's probably not for me. So I guess we can go into like after the 2003, and then we go to 2023. 2023, and Joel is it shows the kid walking towards the Boston quarantine.
And how important she is.
How did she survive out there?
What was it?
That's the question.
I think, wasn't it? Just a kid with long hair. But yeah, he gets. That's where we're reintroduced to Joel, because he has to throw his body on the pyre. And apparently, in the quarantine, if you do menial tasks, you get ration cards. And he's also like a drug dealer on the side. He was talking to that corrupt Fedra dude, and there was I'm trying to remember what else happens, but it's interesting. I'm trying to make me, because obviously, like I said, like my worry with the show is like we've had 10 years of Walking Dead, 15 years of Resident Evil movies, World War Z, Z Nation, Why the Last Man, like another post-apocalyptic sort of show. Like, how is this show going to set itself apart? And it's just interesting because I think the ration cards, that was they didn't have any of that in like Walking Dead. I don't think did they? It was just sort of like more of a commune. But here it's just more like they have a more organized system of how people can make money in a post-apocalyptic world. So, but that was interesting. Not the highlight of the episode, but it was like, oh, okay, so that's how things work there.
Yeah, I thought.
And he still has a big ass apartment in the apocalypse. He has like a 900 square foot apartment. But I guess there's less people
friend
around.
syndrome.
Yeah, Forrest, I was about to say, there's a lot of space available.
Yeah, that's true. So it's like
3-2 grim.
Yeah, but I liked. This kind of get farther in the episode, but like, what was it like? 60s is everything's okay. 70s, no news, and the 80s that means bad news, or something like that. Like no news, good news, and bad news, depending on what song they play.
Yeah, and
So
then,
that was
it was no
interesting.
news, good news, and then unknown. And one of the things you got to see Ellie do was trick Joel into releasing, or to like telling her what like the 80s was about, right? Because she was like, "Oh, there's some song playing on the radio," and she just
It was
gave the
Wake
lyrics
Me Up, Wake Me Up
to Whams. Yeah,
Yeah,
He's
that's
like, oh
smart.
shit, he's like code broken.
yeah.
So
I
yeah,
thought that was
guess-
nice. It shows you like how shows you how clever she is. It's good writing because I'm sure she's gonna do some Mary Sue shit in the next couple of episodes.
Well, she couldn't even stab Joel in this episode, so maybe she's not
Who-
quite as good a
Who would
fighter.
want to stab Pedro Pascal?
Well, she did.
Those eyes and that face. Did she?
Wait,
Did she really?
Wonder Woman 84. Come on.
She was in that one.
No, Pedro Pascal
Pedro
was.
Pascal. Didn't he get stabbed in that at the end?
I think
he
he
walked
got
out
bounded by
unharmed.
rope. He got bound
No,
by the magic lasso.
At the end of it, he got out of the helicopter that appeared out of nowhere. Remember, we were like, "Where'd the helicopter come from?" And then his son just randomly runs out of the fucking woods. Remember?
No,
He got lassoed by plot device, and then everything was fixed. Yeah, that was
so bad.
It's
It's
funny.
the lasso of truth, Forrest. It's not a plot device.
But it's not the lasso of plot device. It's the lasso of truth. And it's like, all right, tell the truth. And it's like, well, he was telling the truth. He was just saying, like, if you wish this thing, then it'll come true. So he was telling the truth. I think it was like the lasso was just like, make them get back their wish. So anyway, but I don't want to talk about Wonder Woman 1984. I don't want to talk about the Wonder Woman 2011 pilot, which also had Pedro Pascal, interestingly enough. And y'all posted that meme today saying like Pedro Pascal's never been in a show under 89%. So it's like, I know he's been in Game of Thrones, Mandalorian, obviously, and then but that Wonder Woman show was never on TV, so it doesn't count. But I'm sure if it did, it would have been like 10%. It looked really bad. It's like, what if Wonder Woman was a fashion mogul? So anyway.
Oh, that was terrible. Yeah. I've seen the pilot is atrocious.
Okay. And we were also introduced to Tess, right? Who is played by the chick from Mindhunter. So it's good to see her again because I don't think we're getting Mindhunter season 3. But Tess, I guess, is his girlfriend in the video game, Rob. Is that right?
Anna Torv?
Anna Torv, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's not so sure. That's what it seemed like. It seemed like they were either boyfriend, girlfriend, or friends with benefits.
It seemed like they were together.
But apparently she got ripped off by Robert. And does Robert have a bigger part in the game, Rob, or is he killed off pretty soon in the game as well? 'Cause it seemed like he was going to have a bigger role in this. Like the first mission of the game was like to get their stuff back from Robert, and they find Robert, he's already dead. So
he might have been. 'Cause I don't remember much about him.
Okay, but that's how we're sort of introduced to Marlene, who I guess is sort of like the main villain of the game, besides the zombies.
Yeah, they run into a lot of random people, but mainly a bunch of zombies and sneaking around in the game.
Yeah, well, I know that the actress who plays Marlene in this show is the same one who plays her in the video game, right? So we're getting Troy Baker.
Oh yeah.
We know we're getting a Troy Baker cameo, I'm sure, in this show. What do you think? Because he's the guy who voices Joel.
Yo, you think we will?
I think Troy Baker will definitely have some sort of cameo in this. He might be one of the cannibals. That's what I'm thinking. He has like a cannibalistic look. I don't know. But it's funny because I think Troy Baker was at the Video Game Awards one year, and he was like, people always ask me, how can I get started as a video game voice actor? And he says, first of all, get a microphone, and second, wait for me or Nolan North to die, because he's literally in every video game. He was in one of the Assassin's Creed. I think he was in both BioShock games, or he was in one of the BioShock games. He was in Metal Gear Solid 5. He was Ocelot. So he's like in every major video game. He's like the voice actor in that. So I think the fans want to see him in this too.
It looks like it has been announced that they will play cameos, both Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson.
Yeah, because I think the actress who plays Ellie is not really a teenager. She's like in her 30s or something. So she's like an actually adult woman. But yeah, I can definitely see. I would not be surprised if we saw Troy Baker, the other girl in this at some point in the series. But they want to keep it a surprise, obviously. But it's cool that they have the actors and the talent from the video games in this show as well. But yeah, so I guess if we just want to talk about the quarantine, because that's really like there was really no zombies in this episode after the beginning. It's really just like focusing on the quarantine.
At the very end.
The zombies.
Yeah, they found a dead one.
Yeah, there's one. There's a little clicker or stalker one in the bottom, like left-hand corner at the very end of the scene.
So I guess the clickers are like the fully sprouted fungi.
Yeah,
zombies.
they can't see, but if you make any sound, they'll hear you.
Oh, okay. So I guess they just burst through the head that way.
Yeah, and they make these clicking noises. I guess I guess they work kind of like Daredevil, using sound to see in a way or something.
Like echolocation.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how fungi spread.
But they mutate, right? The stage of the what are they called? Zombies. We're gonna call them zombies. The stage of the zombie is based on how old the zombie is, right? So like,
yeah. Did you notice on the dead one that was stuck on the wall that he basically the fungus, the whatever's in him died out, and you notice how it was spreading along the wall. It was basically searching for something else,
something to
and
grab
then it
hold
just
of,
died out as it was spreading out.
Yeah. Well, what Matt or Chip, what did y'all think of the quarantine area of the society? Did this sort of stand out to you, or was it just sort of like, this is all just set up?
So I like the setup of how you kind of have like the military came in, took control of everything, and then you have this dynamic group who is trying to reinsert independence. I liked that dynamic, the Fireflies. But what I hated is how, like, there's a way to show troops are, just not properly trained and kind of bad at their jobs, and then you have shows like this where, like, what's his name, Pain Addict, is just like, it's like such a goofy caricature of how like bad of a military guy he is,
right?
So it kind of bugs me that this is a group that has taken over and controls everything, and the guy handing out jobs is obscenely fat and overweight, and has a beard, the lady, doing the executions, like.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It's just like it's kind of like when you watch the original like Living Dead, any of the ones from the 80s, how like the military is like just 80s guy actor that they got off the street, and it just.
Oh yeah, from Day of the Dead, and it's the guy with like whose hair is way too long to be in the military.
We established that they have military schools, and you have to go to the military school to be in the military. And if you're in the military, you're kind of like this higher tier in society, and yet these highly trained military people look in less shape than the Fireflies who are fighting for freedom.
Oh yeah, they were way leaner.
They're leaner because they're hungry, probably. Yeah. Less fed.
But no, like they're jacked. They're jacked. They're jacked though. But I don't know. It's
the only thing that survived.
It's a ticky-tack thing, and overall doesn't take away from it. But I when I see that, it always just kind of makes me giggle in shows and movies where it's like military guy, super awesome, worst fighter we have.
I don't understand why the guy was being such a hard ass at the end of the episode. Like he's like, dude, let's do this run to get your pills. I guess it was just like manufactured conflict. I don't know. Because it seemed like, he's literally buying pills from. First of all, it's like a big coincidence that they would run into each other anyway. But second, like, he's already supporting smuggling anyway. Why is he stopping?
And once again, the bad trope of he's a horrible soldier guy. He's supposed to be outside the base where all these things are attacking, and he's taking a piss and he's by himself, and like,
I hate people who relieve their bladder. It pisses me off.
No, but you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Even in the military, groups of two.
But yeah, I guess I did like the parallel between the soldier who killed his daughter and the guy who's about to shoot Ellie, and he was like, not again. So I think I knew it was going to come. I knew it was coming before it happened, but it was like, okay, yeah, it all comes full circle. But yeah, I loved like the closing shot because it looked just like from the video game, from what I've seen. Like it's really interesting. Like the concept art that they put in this game, they like put a lot of. It looks really different than other post-apocalyptic sort of shows, but like the overgrowth. City in the background. So they really did they put a lot of detail into it, and it looks like they definitely just took it right from the game and put it in the show. And I'm trying to remember the name of the song at the very end by Depeche Mode. It's like "Won't Let You Down Again." Depeche Mode. Sorry, I'm not from the '80s.
Oh gosh.
So
that song alone got me to watch the credits.
So Joe Pesci Mode song, what was it again? It was like "Not Gonna Let You Down Again," or something like that. It's like, but it fits the story. Like, not gonna let someone I love die again. I think that was like the moral of the song. But overall, I think we definitely skipped over a few things. Obviously the Fireflies are the freedom fighters, and I think Marlene. I think we're probably going to see more of her next episode. I didn't watch the preview for the next episode. I'm guessing the Fireflies are they're attacking in like not random places, but they're trying to get the Fedra people away from a certain area because they're trying to get something. So I think we're probably going to see that next episode. And I think what's cool about these sort of shows that adapt, either video games or books or just adaptations in general, like we can get sort of more insight into ancillary characters. That can be a good or a bad thing, but hopefully it'll be a good thing in this case. So I think we're probably gonna see more of Marlene next episode, and like probably cutscenes that weren't in the video game. We'll probably expand on her character the same way they did with Sarah this episode. So, but yeah, anyone have anything else? Because I don't want to move on to anything else. I just want to I think we just sort of just a quick synopsis of the episode, but I want to delve into it deeper. If anyone else wants to get into it.
I just thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing more.
Yeah, especially because I stopped watching Walking Dead right around like season 6. But this, even though it is a zombie show, I think the with the fungus, being the cause rather than like an unspecified virus, it's a refreshing take on the zombie sort of trope. Even this game's been out for 10 years. But yeah, I think.
But that's the thing, I have no desire to play this video game. When I heard this was announced, I was like, who could give two craps about adapting a video game? Halo came out, so that made it seem even worse. But at the end of the day, I'm hooked. I'm hooked for now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact it's on HBO, they already have a high bar for quality, and it's the same guy who did Chernobyl, which is one of the best miniseries to come out of HBO in a long ass time. I think Craig Mazin did it. I think there was a lot of hype around this. I was a little disappointed when I heard he was doing Last of Us. You did Chernobyl. You can basically do anything you want, and you're doing a video game that's already pretty cinematic to begin with.
As a side note, when
movies don't work, video game adaptations are just terrible. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, no, I agree. Kind of making that point, but one of the best things though is at the end when the episode was over, it's like, hey, watch this if you like this show. And one of my favorite shows that I haven't watched in a few years popped up, The Leftovers, which is another, kind of apocalyptic show that was done really well. And I kind of would put it in the same category as this one. So definitely give a shout out to that show. Watch it if you can. Basically, the whole idea is one day, 5% of the population just disappear.
It sounds like a good thing, though.
and
overpopulation.
The whole show is everybody like coming to
Poor
terms
Snow.
with it.
That is
It's great.
not good.
Well,
That's
it
not a
seems
good
like
thing.
it seems like a less serious Left Behind, because Left Behind, that was like the Rapture, and like I think it was like more than 5% in that show, right?
Yeah.
Or The Stand, where I think it was like 99% of the population died from a virus.
And then the other show that popped up, Station 11. It's only one season. It is, except for the ending of that show, it is another one of those shows that you watch the first episode. Next thing you know, it's 3 or 4 in the morning, and you're on episode 6 already.
Is that another post-apocalyptic show?
Yep. Basically, it's a virus, and it came out during COVID, which is funny because they filmed it before COVID, and they actually delayed it because of COVID.
Yeah.
But basically, a virus wipes out like 90% of the population.
That's The Stand, basically. And they actually filmed a new version of The Stand right before the pandemic happened. The pandemic happened, and there's like, oh shit, we have this show in our hands. We can't release it now.
Yep.
So they eventually released it, and I think it was like didn't get good reviews anyway. I think because I don't know, it just wasn't really well done. I probably need to watch it, but yeah, I think The Stand.
Station 11, yeah. Stand is good. Station 11 I love because there's like some
the books
other stuff going on in the background, like 3 characters. I've seen this one comic book, and somehow they're tied together and past the apocalypse, and it's really, really good.
Okay.
So
yeah,
if that's putting this show, if it's in those 2 shows categories, then I have high expectations.
All right. Yeah. So yeah, Last of Us, very looking forward to the rest of this season. This is a great show. I think it's nice that we don't have a show that we're just not excited to watch, and we're just gonna shit on like She-Hulk. So, but I think it's probably been like the last show we all really enjoyed with Stranger Things. So it's nice that there's a show out now that we can all watch and enjoy. So it's nice. But let's move on to a show we don't really feel the same about, The Bad Batch. I think only me and Rob watched it, right?
That's not true. I watched it in my third eye.
Oh, really? What happened to it?
Well, a couple things. You know,
Something about
some
a
bad
race.
things.
Okay.
I did not watch it.
Yes, this is basically the pod race episode, but instead of pod racers, they just had like what? Small little
Pods.
ships. Yeah. Well, they didn't have like the things in front. Like I guess like in the Phantom Menace, they're basically like chariot races. It's
Yeah,
like
they're
futuristic-
basically little one man.
futuristic chariot races, but here it's just like more just like get rid of the thing pulling them, and it's just they're small race cars that float. But it was nice. I thought like Omega was going to be the racer just because she's small and could probably fit one of those things. But I was sort of surprised that Tech was the one who raced. And it's interesting because Hunter and Echo weren't in this episode, so I have a strong feeling the next episode is going to show what they were up to. While Wrecker, Tech, and Omega were helping sit out. So I think next episode is going to be like the Hunter and Echo side of the story. But yeah, this was, not as good as the last episode with Crosshair, but it was, I guess, enjoyable. Ben Schwartz was the robot. I thought it was Zach Braff for a second. Anyone else think it was Zach Braff?
No, I thought it was Ben Schwartz, but that's only because I looked it up.
I only know him from Parks and Recreation. So like, he's like just the annoying character who's Tom's friend. But I think
he's so good. Like I'll tell you, I used to hate him, but like there comes in like a part of your life where like you mature as an adult and you fall in love with this character. Because he's the worst.
Well, he's like the Andy Bernard of Parks and Recreation. He just starts off really annoying, then he eventually becomes his own thing. I watched The Office finale the first time yesterday, and it was pretty mess.
Okay, welcome to 20. Wait, what?
Yeah, I just watched The Office finale. I never watched season 8 or 9. I never even finished season 7.
Well, fuck off, man. You can't just watch the finale and be like, it's meh. You have to watch the whole show. There's an emotional connection that comes back. You have to watch 3 or 4 seasons of Office without Michael Scott to have that emotional connection. Michael Scott shows up in the door, right? And Dwight sees him in the mirror, dude. If you're not crying, you're not watching The Office right. I don't understand. Like, are you heartless?
I tried watching 8 at 9. It was so bad. I couldn't watch it. Anyway, but what we're talking about? Oh yeah, the Bad Batch.
Speaking of mad,
we love this show.
Yeah. So they open up playing the Jarek, everyone's favorite game in a galaxy far, far away.
Oh yeah.
But we're quickly off on another fetch quest of the week. This time to Safa Toma. I'm not familiar. Is that a new? Yeah, it's the planet's name.
The entire planet's one giant racetrack.
Yo, don't act like that wouldn't be a fucking dope ass planet.
That's basically every planet in Star Wars. Like the entire planet's just one giant city. The
What,
entire
Canto
planet's
Bite? Come on.
Canto Bite's just one giant junkyard. You know.
Casino. It's
And
a
then
casino
the planet
planet.
is one giant ocean.
Is that from Last Jedi? Boo,
Yes.
boo.
Yeah.
Don't make me.
Or it's the one second
That
to last
movie
one.
Canto Bite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's like
Last
one.
Jedi.
There's one planet that's entirely a junkyard too. Canto.
Yeah, that planet from Ragnarok, Thor Ragnarok. Can't switch over genres that quickly.
In the Star Wars universe, though, there's a junkyard.
I know, but it's all owned by Disney.
I know. Yeah, I know which one where he falls into.
It's a car.
in the-
That's it. It's a car.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. Fuck. It took me a minute to fucking. I had to switch whole franchises. Tons of neurons.
Or what was it in Andor? It's Space Miami. Like one half the planet's just ocean, and the other half's just beach property.
Did you say Space Miami?
Yeah, that's basically what it was. It was Space Miami, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yes, it was.
if that's what you want, I'm not sure how I picture. Why Miami? Was it particularly
Because it's a
or
beach.
colorful or full of crypto?
It was
That's
by
what
the
I'm
beach.
saying, like, there's 1,000 beaches. Why? Like I would say
But
maybe the
Miami's probably
Jersey
the most-
Shore. The
Miami's
Jersey
probably the most
Shore.
prevalent. I don't know. I think people would say like, "What's the biggest beach town in USA?" They'd say Miami.
Oh,
It's
would
in Florida.
you like to know? It's probably like Myrtle Beach. That's actually like a top.
No, I'd
Earth
say
con-
Miami's more well known, more famous. Like maybe like
It's not.
Daytona Beach or what's one
Of
in
course,
California?
I don't know. Myrtle Beach is pretty.
Myrtle Beach is where
yeah.
people go who can't afford to live in Miami but want to be beach bums.
Myrtle Beach is what the Yankees go to and think is a great beach.
It's the golf courses you guys are sleeping on. Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's home of like it's home of, like the largest like collection of golf courses like on the East Coast or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's how
Like-
great Bad Batch 2 is, gentlemen.
Myrtle
so,
Beach,
I really
home
like
of
the
golf
guy-
course.
I really like the guy with the horn goatee.
Hey, did you
Who's
know
that again? Is that Darth
Myrtle Beach has
Paul?
11 million annual visitors according to Newsweek?
How many
Not
visitors?
bad for old South Kakalaki.
How many visitors does Canto Bite get? 1 trillion because it's in the galaxy. Yeah. So I don't remember the name of this planet, but I did like that.
It's
sorta-
Safa Toma.
Safatoma.
Which sounds like hematoma, but anyways.
Yeah, so I like this was like a tech-centered episode, sort of, or more of like a Sid-centered episode too. We're getting more backstory on Sid, and
Are we?
we're trying.
Did we
She's
get
more of a
background
three-dimensional.
story?
We learned more about her shady past, because
Yes,
I'm sure when
shady.
when she first showed up,
Yeah,
no one
from
thought she had a shady
what's
past.
the big guy's name?
Darth Goatee, I don't know. Horn
Malahi.
He was voiced by Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters. I was like, that voice is familiar.
Yeah, I thought his voice sounded kind of familiar.
Yeah, it's the guy from Ghostbusters.
Hey,
So that was cool.
Did you know Miami Beach only gets about 6.8 million annual visitors according to Newsweek?
What about Space Miami?
Fuck it.
That's not quite half, but that's enough to prove a point. Not saying that more is better, but you
I'm
see
saying
the tourist
Miami's
attraction.
more famous than Myrtle Beach.
Is it?
I think
Is it
that's-
more
That's
famous?
debatable, Forrest. I'm
Is
telling you,
Batman-
man. Myrtle Beach.
Okay,
Don't
if
like.
you
I mean,
never
there's
left
like
South
things.
Carolina, then yeah, that is debatable. But I think
Okay,
people
let
around
me
the
ask you
world-
this: Who's more famous, Batman, Jesus, or the Beatles worldwide? Just to
Jesus.
gauge your
Jesus is the Miami of religious figures.
Bro, I think you literally picked like the third most recognizable name of the three.
Okay, go back before 1920 then. Then who's the most
Well-
famous in the world?
Well, probably
McDonald's.
probably not the Beatles or Batman, so it's probably gonna be Jesus.
Okay, McDonald's didn't start until the 50s by the McDonald brothers. I've seen the founder, so I know my McDonald's history. So, Yeah. So, what do you think is going to happen next week with Hunter and Echo?
Oh,
they're going to go to a different planet, and they're going to have a mission, and then they're going to return.
Guys,
will it be a racing mission?
First. No.
I don't know. I'm wondering if Captain Cody, Commander Cody, will come back because he went AWOL.
It's about time for a clone episode. Hey guys, let me ask you. I got some questions here. Pod racing or riot racing? Which one would you rather watch?
Rod racing?
Riot racing. That's what this was called. With
Okay.
guns. So you want pod racing or pod racing with guns?
Well, considering
AKA
everyone
riot
hated
racing.
Phantom Menace because of pod racing and of
Yeah,
Anakin,
anything
I would
Did
say,
they? All right, I don't
and
know
Jar
who
Jar.
everyone was, but this everyone, right? One isn't a true Star Wars fan. I'm kidding. Me at Zeitgeist Podcast on Twitter if you want to fucking come at me. But two, doesn't have fucking surround sound. Because I tell you what, you don't have to like pod racing, right? An hour and a half later when he goes, this is pod racing. No, the fuck not. This is war, motherfucker. But I'm telling you this. Any cinephile, anyone who enjoys music, anyone who has a surround sound enjoys the pod racing scene because it's so well done, like on an audio level. Like the sound mixing is incredible. It's so enjoyable to watch.
It is.
Was Phantom
The
Menace
pod race
nominated
is
for
good.
sound mixing Oscar?
That's a great question. You
That
guys
sounds like
move on to the
that's
next
probably the
topic
only
and
thing
I'll
that
come
was
back.
actually nominated for anything because of sound mixing. Like, probably the VFX people because that CGI doesn't look that great now. At least Yoda was still a Muppet in that movie before they made him CGI in episode 2 and 3. So yeah, I have a strong feeling we're going to see another character from Clone Wars in the next episode with Hunter and Echo.
They got nominated for best.
It's just
sound,
this
nominated
entire
for best sound
show
effects.
is just a vending machine or like a rotating wheel of or conveyor belt of Clone Wars cameos. It seems.
But the Clone Wars was just a conveyor belt of Star Wars Legends cameos.
But Clone Wars didn't they create Ahsoka and Cad Bane?
Oh, okay, yeah, and Batman the Animated Series created Harley Quinn, but the rest of the Rogues Gallery was just turning and burning, plus the comic-making.
Weren't the Mandalorians not created for, but weren't they expanded on in the Clone Wars?
I mean, yeah, but like, isn't everything expanded on in the expanded universe, right? Like, we got a whole movie. What's the movie where they all die in the end? They steal the
Rogue One.
Rogue One, exactly. Thank you. Rouge One. Rouge One is just an expansion upon some fan nerds bullshit in the 80s or whatever, right? Like that's all it is.
Nice.
All we're doing is expanding upon this universe.
Well, that wasn't based off like a book. I think it's like just two screenwriters just came up with the idea, who thought it'd be interesting, and
Good for them.
I don't know why. Because like,
I mean, it
surprise,
turned out
look at the
better
Death Star
than-
plans.
Turned out better than the two screenwriters who had an idea for the second age of Middle Earth.
Oh yeah, like and those guys had like absolutely no. Their only I think screenwriting credit was a rewrite of Star Trek Beyond.
No, they had
mediocre.
They had 3 or 4 screenwriting credit, or no, they wrote 3 or 4 different scripts. None of them just ever got picked up.
Yeah, but if we're talking about like stuff that actually made it to screen that they contributed to, all they did was Star Trek Beyond.
Oh, I
'Cause,
wasn't
like,
aware that
there's-
they had
there's-
any impact on.
There's
actual
tons of
screenplay.
screenwriters who have sold screenplays that have never been made. But I think like in order to like, especially given a show running job, you have to have like some, bona fides of some actual stuff that's actually been put in production. And
I
it
think
was
Jeff
like,
Bezos was just like, I'm leaving, and I'm gonna tank the company so it looks like I'm the smartest guy.
if you
and
have
this guy
like,
is
if
becoming
you have like
the
$1 billion to
man.
spend on a show, you could probably afford to hire Peter Jackson.
Oh no, they've reached out to Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson responded, and they never like.
No,
they never,
he
like,
said
went back again.
he did reach out to help out, and they said
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he reached out, and like Amazon never got back to him. They were just like they went through the motions of it, which reminds me of Tim Burton. Whether he was lying or communication just wasn't great in the time period, but said he reached out to Adam West to play Bruce's father. Now I gotta switch like fucking 3.
Well, he wanted
career.
Burgess Meredith to play the Penguin's father in Batman Returns,
Thomas
but he
Wayne.
got sick.
Yeah, Thomas Wayne. But Adam West later on was like, no, he didn't fucking call me to play Thomas Wayne. Are you kidding me? So I don't know, like maybe the ball got dropped. Maybe Tim Burton was lying in the interview.
Yeah, but Batman Returns, the entire plot line of Penguin running for mayor, that's right from a Batman 66 episode. So it's just funny, I guess. They literally recycled an episode of the Goofy show for the Goofy movie.
Hey, my wife and I just rewatched, unironically, motherfuckers. We unironically watched Batman and Robin. Fucking loved it, dude. It's so fucking good. Like Uma Thurman as Pamela Isley, Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze. It's a cold day in hell. Yeah, how's Revenge's best sub called? Like it's so good. There's a dime, dude. She wants to turn the planet into like green grass, like cover in plants. He wants to cover in ice. Like these fucking like dude, a 5-year-old.
Why would they ever team up?
A 5-year-old would tell you how fucking stupid these two partnering up is, and yet this entire fucking like Warner Bros. Directed, like screenwriters, directors, executive producers, board of directors. Like this is. It's incredible. The guy, but it's so I love it, dude. There's they clap their fucking feet and they have ice skates built into their fucking boots. That's what I want. I want a camp Batman. Like Christopher Nolan Batman was amazing. The Dark Knight was ever, right? Robert Pattinson and the Batman, you can have your mixed feelings on it. You can think it's great, you can think it's whatever. But James Gunn is in charge of the DC universe now, right? And who better to helm and direct and create? Who better to bring back campy Batman than James Gunn? Is that what you guys want? That's what I fucking want.
Well, until Universal buys Warner Brothers and everyone gets fired anyway.
Oh no, dude, they're selling it to Disney. Disney's definitely buying.
Oh gosh, Universal needs to step in.
DC.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think Matt Reeves said like villains he would be interested in doing for his sort of Batman trilogy or his new Batman universe would be Mr. Freeze is one of them. So, but it would probably be like a less with less puns.
Can you respect a man with that kind of? Can you respect a man with that kind of mustache? I don't know if I can. I just don't trust your judgments and decisions in life when you decide to wear that caterpillar on your face.
Well, maybe he'll shave it off and he'll come to his senses.
You guys know what I'm talking about? Have you guys looked at it? He's got a full on Detective Gordon mustache, and it just doesn't match the face.
Well, we'll just see what he does because that last Batman movie was pretty good, and I just want to see what he does next. Hopefully, it won't be 3 hours.
Wait,
was it good?
I thought the last Batman. Good? I mean, we've said our thoughts. I thought it was redundant, and it recycled a lot of stuff from the Nolan movies and from Fincher movies, but it was way better than any other comic book movie that came out last year.
But like, it's Batman. It's not fucking hard. Like, it's more impressive to make a bad Batman movie than it is to make a good Batman movie, right?
I agree.
Like,
Batman's really hard to screw up.
Yeah, like, look at Justice League, right? Look, dude, everyone was so excited for Justice League. Everyone was a good movie. So fucking pissed that Ben Affleck was gonna be Batman, right?
Why?
Everyone was like off his head. Because fucking Ben Affleck wasn't going to be Batman. You kidding me? But Ben Affleck's not Batman. That's fucking stupid. Ben Affleck is, the guy from all those other movies with Matt Damon, right? But like, yeah, Daredevil, right? And then he turned out to be the best fucking part of the DCEU, right? Dude, give me 1,000 movies with Ben Affleck Batman.
Well, in some universe,
it's not. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's harder to fuck up Batman than it is to make a great Batman movie, right? And not many directors get to make a Batman movie. So like, why put out such a dark, mediocre piece of shit? Like, it was good. Dum 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 dum.
Reminds me of the Mormon episode of South Park. Dum dum.
I'm just saying, like, dude, like, the guy's got no social media. Like, dude, like, I'm not the Riddler, right? I'm talking about Matt Reeves, right? For or whoever wrote this screenplay, right? For the Riddler to have 500 followers and then 50 of them, right? A whole 10% fucking come out with AK-47s. Bro, we can't get 10% of fucking people to like and to subscribe to the podcast. You fucking show up every week, right? And keep coming back every week. But, like 10% is a very average metric for like a like ratio. And yet you're telling me, like, this guy's over here rocking a 10% AK-47 ratio? Like, get the fuck out of here. I haven't seen numbers this good since Donald Trump.
Well, to be fair, that movie came out post January 6th, so maybe not that far-fetched. But to be fair, the concept of Batman itself is already far-fetched. So I think, like, maybe the Riddler getting a cult of followers to come out. It makes sense. I mean, the ending could have been done better. I don't really think the Riddler was. I mean, the Zodiac killer aspect was interesting, but I thought I was hoping for more death traps, like maybe like a maze where it's slowly flooding, and he has to solve the maze before it floods, or he'll drown, or he has to untie there's a knot puzzle or a crossword puzzle he has to solve to, or a bomb will go off or something like that. Or remember in Die Hard with a Vengeance, where he's basically having Bruce Willis going around New York City solving riddles.
Yeah.
And he has 2 gallons of water, and he has to fill up 1 gallon with one barrel with 3 gallons, the other barrel with 2 gallons, and they have to be exact, or the bomb will go off. So stuff like that would have been cool. But
I think there was a scene like that in The Bad Batch.
I missed that one. That was a deleted scene. Well, I think we're pretty much at the end of.
No, I've got a couple more things. I got a couple more things I want to talk about. But great tangent, great, excellent effort, Tip, to try to get us back on.
I think we're going Bad Batch, Tip. There's not much there.
So, no. Don't you worry. Of course, you underestimate the creative power of Zeitgeist Zealots, right? So there might not be much in this episode, but I'm gonna fucking wring every fucking drop of content out of this fucking episode. So I want to talk about this for a second. Malahi, this crime boss, who's talking shit, and they're making a race. He's got a droid. His name is Jet Venom. Okay, so Jet Venom. That's a dumb fucking name, which made me think, guys. Dumb fucking names. Do you love the names in Star Wars, or are they just so stupid?
Well, would you really want a space pirate or a space wizard called Robert Smith?
You're right.
Wouldn't that be stupid?
Dude, whenever someone's called Kevin in Game of Thrones, it really throws me off. You're absolutely right. All right, let me. Matt, do you have an opinion on this Star Wars names?
I like them, except for Grogu.
Except for Grogu. So, is it basically the only name that we got that wasn't given to us that we don't like? I mean, Bubba Frick, right? Love him or hate the character, it's a good name, right? Han Solo, love or hate the fucking way he got the last name Solo, right? Thinks that fucking movie, unquote movie, right? It's still a badass name. Luke Skywalker, that's a porno name.
There's some great ones, and then there's some really, really bad ones where it's where they just throwing darts at a board to get letters.
Yeah, like Organa. Princess Leia is a great name, but then Organa sounds sort of awkward and haphazard. But yeah, it just depends. Organa. Wedge Antilles. That's a good one.
I love that one.
I know. I like that one too.
Who's the guy in the diner in the prequel trilogy?
Boss Groucho. I don't know. Groucho Sparks. I don't know.
Groucho Sparks. Who is that from?
It's Groucho Marx.
Okay.
He had a mustache like Groucho Marx, so I was thinking Groucho or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Dexter Jester. Yeah, do you like Dexter Jester? It's a great fucking name. Great fucking names in Star Wars. So let me ask you this: who has better names, Star Wars characters or comic book characters?
I always say Game of Thrones characters because Game of Thrones characters have normal names too, like Robert or Jamie.
Robert and Jamie's whatever, and blah. Yeah, so I'm not talking. Yeah, so regular doesn't sound.
But there's a guy named Roos, Moose.
That's why I'm squeezing out all the content, and we're going over to comic books. So, do you like a Bruce Banner or a Dexter Jettster? Right? Do you like a Clark Kent or?
Well, a lot of comic names are just normal names. I mean, a lot more alliterative, like Peter Parker, Reed Richards, Bruce Banner.
I'm just talking about, do you like it? Yeah, I'm not saying which one's more unique or which one has more fucking vowels in it, right? I'm just asking, which ones do you like more? Would you rather be named after a Star Wars character or a comic book character, I guess?
Probably, yeah, I'd rather be named Peter than Jar Jar.
No, your name is...
I would have to agree.
I'd guess. I'd rather be called Clark than Jabba.
All right, but what if it was Clark Kent, your last name? No, I'm saying it's your first name, middle name is replaced by the first name, last name of a comic book character. Would you rather be like Bruce Wayne insert your last name here, like Bruce Wayne Smith?
Well, there's a guy in my swim.
Would you be Mace Windu Smith?
There's a guy in my swim team named Austin Powers. I think I'd rather be called Bruce Wayne than Austin Powers. I think the jokes. I think people would think Bruce Wayne's cooler than that. So I don't know. As long as I'm not named after like comedy characters from comedy movies, I'd rather that. I'd rather a comic book name.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone in the history of the world would ever get a reference to a comedy character in a comedy movie. Like if you like introduce yourself as like, hold on, I'm not.
But like literally, they said like, and the winner of this race, Austin Powers. Everyone started laughing.
Right, but like I don't know, like, well, shit. I was looking up fucking Leslie Nelson's character in Airplane, but it just says Dr. Rumack.
Well, no, it's Frank Drebin in Naked Gun. That's his most famous.
Oh, okay, so so if you're like your name's
but no,
Frank,
but I think
your name's Frank, no one's gonna be like, oh, Frank. Like, isn't Leslie Nelson and the Naked Gun? Like, no one's gonna.
The movie's not called Frank Drebin though. The movies are called Austin Powers though.
Yeah.
If a guy was named Shrek, maybe then yeah. I was thinking Mike Myers.
Austin Powers came out
1997. I think the first one.
25 years ago.
More than that.
Crazy.
Well, about that's actually about right. Well, I think we're like an hour.
Well, Austin Powers
10,
3 came out in 2020 or 2002. Goldmember came out in 2002, so that's what 21 years ago.
Yeah, 1997 on the first one.
Have you seen his new show, The Pentaveret?
No, is it good? I've heard about it.
Not really, but there's like one funny scene where it's like they're just dropping the F-bomb in this pool hall, and they said like, hold up. How can we allow such language, Netflix? And they like, let's just take all the F-bombs out. And it's like a lot worse because it's a lot more sexual. He's like, that shot looks fucking hard. And it's just like, that looks hard. Or, like that. And he's like, you got mayonnaise on my face. And he's like,
big disgrace.
Yeah. And it's like, he goes, they're playing pool. So there's like a lot of grunting, like, and the mayonnaise goes on his face. So it's like,
dude, how
it's very
old
inappropriate.
is Mike Myers?
He's like 50 something, but yeah, it's funny because the Pentaveret was like first mentioned in So I Married an Axe Murderer, his first movie in like 91. Yeah, so he's getting up there. But yeah, it's not that funny. I think he got like bad reviews, and you just really have to like Mike Myers. He plays like 8 characters, I think, in it. So it's just like,
he's Adam Sandler in it, and whatever that movie Adam Sandler does.
Well, he's more like Peter Sellers in it. It's hard to say, but yeah,
Eddie
I think
Murphy.
Eddie Murphy's like another one, like in the clumps.
28%. Oh,
yeah,
Little Nicky. That's when Adam Sandler was Little Nicky. That's what I was thinking of.
Well, he only played one character in that one, I think.
Oh, did he? I thought he
Jack and Jill.
Jack and Jill.
Yeah, he was Jack and Jill.
Okay,
He played 2 characters in
Whatever.
that one, but I think like Mike Myers and Freddie
Thank you.
Murphy are probably like known for playing multiple characters.
Yeah. And I guess we go back to Mike Myers. You're saying,
and I guess Dana Carvey in The Master of Disguise.
I like gold.
I know that was a funny one. I was like in middle school when that came out, but I think it's our show. I think it's our show for the most part. I think we sort of exhausted. We talked about Last of Us. We talked about Bad Batch, and
I just have one thing from my outline here that I want to add. I'd be remiss not to, just because I like the writing of it. Right. Talking about during the race, Tech steps up to win the race when Teo gets run over, right? And I was telling you, like, I was fucking hilarious. I spat my beer right in fucking nose, started burning. I put Tech steps
the guy
up.
Just casually walks away.
Right? It's so fucking good. But Tech steps up and uses brains over bolts to win the race.
Ooh. Well, I
Brains
think
over
there's
bolts.
That's true. But some of the other racers, I think, were sentient beings too, or organic beings.
Oh, were they?
But yeah, so Major, you want to plug our social media?
You fucking know I do, guys. You can text Forrest directly at 555. Go fuck yourself, and tweet us at Zeitgeist Podcast on Twitter. We have a Discord. There's probably a link there. There'll definitely be a link in the description. That's it. What are we, fucking 13? You want to find us on TikTok? You fucking don't make us a TikTok. We'll not take it down.
Yeah. We'll be talking about Last of Us. We're talking about Last of Us next week, and maybe Bad Batch if we're still
more bad bitches in The Last of Us.
The only reason the only reason we started talking about Bad Batch because like nothing else was on. So
we stay true. No, we stay true. You fucking
I'll keep
poser.
watching because it's only
Poser.
20
We stay
minutes.
true to the nerd fandom. Also, just a big.
Hey,
shout
what
out
if
to
they
nerd
were
fandom.
hour-long episodes?
I'd be like, no way.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Pretty much why I stopped watching 1899. It's too long.
Star Wars Theory. I haven't watched the video. Speaking of hour-long episodes, Star Wars Theory put out a video. The thumbnails call something like, "I asked Chat GPT to rewrite the Star Wars sequel trilogies," and you won't believe the response. Like, I didn't watch it because it's 45 fucking minutes long. But dude, that's one hell of a clickbait title right there. Like, I am gonna watch it. Oh wow, Jack and Jill has a 3% on Rotten Tomato.
No surprise there. Star Wars Theory, Mandalorian, Last of Us crossover. My, what a handsome man you are. Why, thank you. You are very attractive as well. This was how it's off. All right, well, that's our show. I'm Forrest.
And I'm Major.
I'm Robbie.
Matt.
And I'm Tip, the last of us.
You haven't heard The Last of Us. Subscribe and join us.
No,
next
you
week.
haven't.
As a bunch of bad bitches. You haven't heard The Last of Us.
We'll be here
a bunch
next
of bad
week.
bitches. There you go.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Oh, you guys are the best. We love you so much.